And so the story takes place among the four realms of Thea. This is the world. Hopefully I butchered it. I'm pretty sure I butchered it.
Yeah, that's what we
Thea.
do. That's what we
Yeah,
used to do
that's
in the old podcast. That's what we're gonna
we
do
got to
now.
reintroduce
If you've
everyone to
got
this.
if you've got a weird name, we're gonna butcher it.
Hello and welcome to the Bad Gamer Good Gamer podcast. Today we look into Sony's State of Play that was shown on Thursday, and to us it was an exciting show with a killer finale. So let's get the show started. Hey Tim, how was your weekend?
Hey, felt fooled. It was pretty good. Very chill. How was yours?
It was good. I would like to say chill, but was pretty much looking after my wife and my daughter the whole weekend because she's sick. So
Because you're a good husband.
because yeah, I'm husbando material, as they say.
So you're gonna be in the next character roster of what's that game? I forgot. Like Genshin Impact.
Oh, pff, yeah, probably.
Because that's
It's
all
still
about
going.
husbandos, right?
Yeah, it's still going that game. My God, yeah. But we're
Yeah,
here
it's
to
going
talk
strong.
about we're here to talk about the Sony State of Play, which had a few new games as well.
Yeah, some good announcements as well. Some world reveals. It was a good watch. I watched it after we finished recording that first
Yeah,
episode, the filler episode. It's good to have enough time to like do cover something after it's come out, not like on the spot, because we just did it in a very relaxed manner.
it was relaxed and there was a lot of blogs to go through because they had the video reveal
Yeah,
and then they had a ton of blog posts with extra details. So that's what I went through and I'm
that
sure you
that
went through
helps.
as
That
well.
helps. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, let's get into it.
yeah. Let's
Let's
start.
start.
You want to start us off?
Yeah, yeah. The first announcement was a remaster of Resident Evil 4,
Like,
and a
yeah,
PSVR 2 like
alongside
adaptation
it.
being in development as well. That was very interesting.
Yeah. I really thought they would be heavy on the PSVR 2 announcement, but it was just oh, it's there. It's gonna be there,
Yeah,
part of it, you
yeah,
know?
and not it wasn't all like the state of play wasn't all PSVR 2,
No.
but there were a few here and there. I think sometime maybe the end of this year, like we will get something that because I we'll get into this later, but like it's coming out 2023.
Mm.
It seems, right? So maybe closer to the release date, they'll have a full PSVR 2 state of
Reveal.
play or
Yeah.
presentation or something, and they'll dig more into details with what we can expect. But
Yeah,
what
I
they
hope
revealed
so.
for us today is interesting, and I think there were good announcements. Starting us off with Resident Evil 4, the remaster, and it's coming out to the PS5 on March 24th, 2023. And it's also coming out on the Xbox Series S and X. Not the PSVR, but just the remaster. Yeah.
Just a remastered version, yeah. This game has been rumored for a while. It wasn't a surprise, but what was a surprise was how the intro started. It was
Mm.
Mexican music and I think they had a shadow of the R and then fade to
Yeah,
black
yeah.
and then Resident Evil.
It was a very well put presentation.
Yeah, yeah. It caught me by surprise. It was nice.
Yeah. What was also nice was the next announcement. The next reveal was Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 8, also
Yeah.
being in development for PSVR 2. And that was like two Resident Evil announcements in a row. I think that's good for Resident Evil fans. I mean, tell me
Oh
your
yeah.
thoughts.
I'm not a VR person, but the fact that they have Resident Evil Village, support for PSVR 2 is pretty damn cool, and you can play the entire game from
Yeah, it's a full
what it was shown.
campaign. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a side story or Resident Evil
A
7 had
DLC or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
they had little snippet DLCs that you can play in VR that's
Yeah.
separate from the
Yeah.
main game. So yeah, this is it's a welcome addition, from the get
Yeah,
go
I
of the full
think
campaign.
Resident Evil, what they did with Resident Evil 7, I think might have been like a stepping stone, them kind of getting the hang of the ropes of like adapting a game to VR. So maybe that's why they had it in snippets. But now with the PSVR 2, it's going to be the full game. That was my one. If you remember from the last episode, I was saying that I hope whatever they announce will be fully fledged AAA title or full games,
That's
not
right. Yeah.
games that you play 10, 15, or even 30 minutes. and they did just that.
They heard you,
So yeah,
and it will
the
take advantage of the PSVR 2 with the eye tracking. The PS5 3D audio will be supported, 4K
yeah
HDR like for each eye, which is pretty cool. And then the PlayStation VR 2 Sense controllers was mentioned, and it will
yes
represent each hand that Ethan uses. So this is a unique, like I have actual unique experience with the PSVR experience
Mm.
versus like the main game. Like you can hold one weapon at a time and then swap out, whereas in VR you can use both arms and like have a shotgun and have a knife at the same time, or like I'm guessing a handgun and a shotgun if you want, that kind of thing. So that'll be super cool, like to see.
Uh, I had some technical difficulties. I lost you
Oh,
for a second in the chat. Like
oh
you
really?
disconnected
I,
and reconnected. Yeah.
I kept talking. You froze as well, but I wasn't sure.
A great way to start the show. Let's just keep going, guys.
Uh,
We're just this hasn't happened before. Like we've been using this for months now with the old podcast, but I guess it's just welcoming us into like all these technical difficulties are welcoming us into the new podcast, the new show, putting it out on YouTube, even though we haven't changed anything at all.
I mean, we can use our backups, but anyway.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, but it's fine. It's out on the public now.
Yeah.
So
So
you
I
mentioned
was
that you can use like dual weapons. You can like put up your hands or your arms
right to
to
block.
guard, which is a nice mechanic. That's a nice way to be immersive in the game. So that's really cool.
Exactly. Yeah. So that like again that's what adds the unique experience for getting the VR. Like you can hold more weapons in each hand, or like
Mm,
whatever you want in each hand, and
yeah.
peek through doors, through open doors. That's like
Yeah,
another thing.
I saw this in the video. I'm not really so sure like if this is something that they just did for the trailer or if it's actually like part of the gameplay. But
Mm.
if you have like a door that's like slightly open, it seemed like you can peek through the door to see if there's like any enemies inside or just so you wouldn't be surprised so much. Of course, you can't see through the whole room because it's just like slightly open. But I thought that was a nice realistic sort of implementation of what you would do if you were in a house with Lady D and her daughters. You would like very carefully try to see what room you're getting into and what to expect there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
There's also no release date on this, but
I mean,
I
they'll
would
drop
assume
it when it's ready.
2023. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Now, I thought it was kind of funny and unfortunate. I read somewhere that just like a few weeks ago, somebody modded a VR mod for Resident Evil Village.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, so I don't know how good it was and feature set and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, it's like it's for the PSVR. Oh no, well maybe the PSVR, but I'm assuming also for like any VR headset you use on PC.
On PC, yeah.
So it doesn't have like the full capabilities of a PSVR 2, like 4K and HDR, then the sense controllers and using the headset, the PS5 headset. But still, like, unfortunately, it came out just a couple of weeks before this announcement. So I hope the modder's
Timing.
doing all right. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that really quick.
He'll be fine until they release it. He's good. He or she
Yeah,
is good.
yeah, yeah. Uh,
Uh,
so next up, we have The
The
Walking
Walking
Dead,
Dead. Yeah, The
Saints
Walking
and
Dead,
Sinners,
Saints and
Chapter
Sinners.
2, Retribution. Yeah.
This
Uh,
is fully VR from what I've seen. It's a full VR
yes, it
game.
looks like it's a fully VR game, and it's coming out January 23rd. Oh, sorry, no. January 23rd, 2020 is when the first chapter came out. My
Right.
bad. But Chapter 2, Retribution, will also be available on MetaQuest. So it's not a PSVR 2 or PS5 exclusive or anything like that.
No,
So
it'll come
yeah.
out on the Quest 2 and other headsets. I'm guessing if it's gonna be there
Yeah,
too.
it's weird saying MetaQuest.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
MetaQuest is a
Yeah,
weird name. Like Quest,
yeah,
just call it the Quest.
yeah. The Quest, yeah, yeah. But I was just going off of what I like, read online. But yeah, so it's coming out on the Quest, and it's coming out in PSVR. So that's like the old generation in late
Mm.
2022, and PSVR 2 in 2023.
So from the sounds of it, like PSVR 2 is officially coming out next year. It doesn't look like it's
2023.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So here's the thing. I went to the website. I went to Skydance's website, who developed the game, and in the
Mm.
FAQ section there, they said it was coming out on PSVR, Quest 2, and PSVR, PS4. They reiterated PSVR again as part of,
Mm.
on the PS4 platform later this year, and that it will come out in PSVR 2 headsets and PS5 when the system becomes available.
In
So
2023, from the sound.
2023. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Just going
So
off all these announcements.
the first three games are like zombies, right? The
That's
first three
true.
announcements. There was another one, I think, or maybe that's it. I don't know, but I noted down somewhere that
Not
a lot of
zombies, but
zombie
yeah.
fighting games, right? Yeah, or
Yeah.
like zombie-like creatures or whatever. That seems to be the focus here. But the next one is definitely not zombies. The next game is far away from anything like that. We
Out into
have
space.
out
Yeah.
into the space, exactly. There's a VR update to No Man's Sky.
Yeah. No Man's Sky made an appearance. It was a quick appearance,
Mm,
but like, that
yeah.
they have had VR from before. So the fact that it's just coming to PSVR 2 is great, and that the Sense controllers will be and the headset will be supported when it launches.
Yeah, so that's cool.
That's about
Upgrading the
it.
game for that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
about it.
man, these guys like Hello Games, like they're like non-stop. They haven't stopped working on No Man's Sky since it came out. It's kind of fantastic.
Well, especially since it came out with, that launch didn't go so well. It wasn't what people were expecting. It wasn't what they
Yeah,
alluded to. It was it like a year or two before they kind of like revamped the whole game. Like it took
yeah,
some time, right?
It's a historic moment, but like it's continual. Like they haven't stopped. It's been non-stop
Yeah,
since
yeah.
then.
And that's great. I mean, that's really good. Because I remember when the game like was first announced, it was like out there. There was nothing else like it. At least like when it comes to like mainstream games, everybody was talking about it.
Mm.
So it must have been very disappointing for people that like followed. Did it start as a Kickstarter thing or Indiegogo? Was it like a crowdsourced
I know it was
project?
crowdsourced, and then Sony helped them at some point,
Yeah, yeah. So whoever
if I'm
contributed
not
must have
mistaken.
felt
Yeah,
cheated out. It's great to see that till this day they're still pushing out these updates and also like upgrading everything so that if you do get the PSVR
yeah,
2, you can now use all these new sensors and like all the full capabilities of the headset. So that's great. Good guys.
yeah. Good guys, Hello Games.
Yeah.
Um, and the next also, like, I think we heard about this or it was mentioned, the Horizon VR,
Yeah.
Call of
I
the
think
Mountain.
January, I think they teased it or something like that, like
Yeah,
earlier this year. Yeah, but we got a lot more to talk
yeah.
about now.
Full-fledged trailer coming exclusively to PSVR 2. They don't have a
Hmm.
release date, but it looked great. It looked like Horizon in VR, but it's a whole separate storyline.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know what else to say about it because I haven't played the games. I know about the games, but I haven't played them.
So it's not what's her name? Alloy? I know it's
Yeah,
pronounced in a different way. It's not like just
Alloy,
I heard a lot of people pronounce it differently, so I think it's supposed to be. But I'm
Aloy.
just gonna say Aloy, I think. Yeah, Aloy, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not
Okay.
Aloy, you're playing as somebody else. But I read somewhere that Aloy will be making like a cameo appearance.
Okay.
So fans of Aloy rejoice. But that's not the only thing that they had to announce about Horizon Forbidden West.
No.
There's a big update. It was actually available on the day of the announcement, so it should be available for everybody now. We are recording this on Sunday. The state of play happened on Thursday night, Friday morning for us here in the
We took our
UAE.
time. We took our
We took our time, yeah, yeah.
time.
Do you want to tell us what this update includes?
Yeah, so it's a day and day update. There's a new performance mode, transmog switch outfit looks like.
I don't know what transmog means. I'm assuming if I played the game, like it means something, but
Yeah, exactly.
you can switch out your look somehow if you
Yeah.
couldn't do that before. Yeah.
The next one is important, like reset skills to
Oh,
redistribute points. Like this one in so many games, from Cyberpunk to
yes.
whatever. Like this is an important one
To Borderlands.
to Borderlands.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah. Redistributing your points, like discovering new, like it was such an important thing for them in the game. I'm talking about Borderlands now in
Mm,
Gearbox. Being able to redistribute your points, adding like new skill trees, like in around Borderlands 3, they did that.
mm.
And also increasing your level cap so that you can change how you play with a character that you played so long. It's like I've done it so many times where I've had a certain set right? Like, okay, this is my character build, this is how I play him, and then I just kind of explored like another skill that I never used before, that I didn't invest a lot of points in, and then that just changes the dynamic so much. So I'm sure fans will be very happy about this addition in this upgrade. Being able to reskill your character is a great thing.
Especially like for the next update with the ultra hard difficulty mode that's been
Yep.
added. So if you're not happy with your skills and you need like to swap them out, this is
This
this is
is
the
it.
reason for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And a new game plus with end game gear and weapons plus trophies. So
Yeah.
this is like I'm guessing like just extra content that they've added
Yeah,
for
yeah,
New
it's
Game
extra
Plus.
content. It's also going back to what redistributing your skill points allow you to do. It allows you to play the game again. Like with New Game Plus, like you're not playing the same thing from scratch, and you're now playing it with whatever, I'm assuming with whatever skills, item, gear, anything that you accumulated. And there should be some new gear as well that you can tinker around with, probably. So I think that's a really good move, right? Like you get to play again in a fresh way, and not
Yeah,
starting
yeah.
from like level one.
Popular.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're starting the story from level one, but like in terms of your character's abilities, you're not starting
it
like
progresses,
without
yeah.
anything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It progresses. So that's really good. That's great. I think that's a really cool update for the Horizon fans out there. What do
So
we
what
have
about
next?
what about the Spider-Man fans? What's up for
Spider-Man
them?
fans, and like, yeah, so this is great. Spider-Man, it came out in like a couple of years ago, like the Spider-Man game, right, that
Yeah.
everybody's raving about. That later on got the Miles Morales update. That is getting remastered, and more
Um,
importantly, it's coming to PC.
yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, on August 12th this year. So this is amazing having this announcement, this reveal. Now, I don't know if it was like leaked or rumored before. I haven't heard anything. Have you?
I didn't, but no, I know I haven't. But like we have been speculating about which game will go on PC.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's
because
between us.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. But like, I don't know if anything like made it out there. But for this game to come out on PC just a couple of months from now, it was one of those like exclusive games on the PlayStation that everybody missed out on, unless you had a PlayStation.
yeah.
And now it's coming to PC.
Not
Amazing. This
everyone will
is
catch up there. Yeah.
yes, yeah. Everything with everyone with a PC. The Xbox crowd is still like left behind, but just get a PC.
Yeah, well, there, if you're with Xbox, you kind of already have the PC side, Game Pass, all that. So maybe.
Well, we don't know. Like there was no. It might come to Game Pass at some point, actually, but I don't know if
That
it's
would be
coming on Game
interesting.
Pass launch day,
No,
August
no, I
12th.
doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah, yeah, that would be great. So at some point in the future, we might see it making its way to Game Pass. But even if it makes it to Game Pass, it has to be a console. Like it has to be available on console because not every game on Game Pass is available on consoles. Like you have the PC games, and you have the Xbox games. So as far as we know, this is just coming to PC this August. If you've been waiting to play this game and you don't want to shell out some money for Sony PlayStation 5 or anything like that, and you have a game that can run it, perfect.
Yeah,
You have
either on
a
Steam
PC
or on
that
Epic.
can run it.
You can get it.
Yes, on Steam and Epic. So we're seeing the fruits of labor from acquiring Nixies, right? Nixis.
This, yeah, we spoke about their acquiring or them being acquired by Sony last year in our previous podcast, and they actually referenced them directly, like in their blog post when they were talking about the Spider-Man remastered. Nix's name came up, and like there was a whole thing about them being internally interviewed and like how great they've been and the journey of the PC development journey that they've been on. So it's great to see that's working for them, and that just means that we're going to see more PC games thanks to them.
Yes.
That's what it means.
Yes. I'm glad they're going for like the heavy hitting games. Like they know what they're doing. They're not going to be porting, games that not everybody wants to play just to say that, oh yeah, we have games on PC. No, they're going for the big ones, and they're
Yeah.
still going for the big ones. That is great.
Yeah, it's good.
And because
Then I
it's
don't
coming
need
out
a
on PC,
PlayStation anymore. If I should.
oh, imagine like Sony just makes PC games.
Under their license, I guess why not? Like if they're
Yeah.
still if they do a day and day with PS5 or whatever and PC, then you have the
I,
choice.
I I want you to explain day and day because you mentioned that before the recorded last time, and
Yeah.
it threw me off.
Like the
Is it
same-
like a commonly used term? Like I know same
know.
day.
Same day, yeah.
Same day release. Yeah, I'll actually look up. You know, if day and day is a thing. But now
I
everybody
might
knows
have
what you're
heard it
saying.
and picked it up somewhere, but like, yeah, it's what I say.
Yeah.
Go figure.
So because Spider-Man is coming out to PC, there's going to be full controller and keyboard support, keyboard and mouse.
That's important.
You can
Yeah.
also obviously adjust your graphic settings. There's going to be ray tracing enabled. So that's all like the good stuff. But not just that, the DLC, The City That Never Sleeps, will also be available as well as the Miles Morales part of the game, or
It's the
the
full
Miles
thing.
Morales game. The
Yeah.
full thing is coming to PC. And like you said, it's coming to Steam and Epic, and that's going to be on August 12th, 2022. The one thing that I'm not so sure of is if the DLC and Miles Morales are also coming out on the same day, or if those are coming out later. They might want to like just kind of trickle those releases later, release the initial game first, and then slowly release the other content, just to have kind of
Could
like
be.
content that supports that. But at the very least, Spider-Man Remastered, August 12th, 2022, Steam
It's a
and
thing.
Epic.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's a
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Tell us about the next game.
You know, I actually like this next game, Stray. It's a
Yeah,
game that we've seen before, not the first time they've announced it.
many times. It feels like
Yeah,
it's been years at this point.
has, yeah. Made by Blue 12 Studio. It's
Hmm.
coming to PS4, PS5, Steam on July 19th, which is not too far off now.
Not
Like,
too far away. So finally, we have a
yeah.
release date. I know a lot of people were looking forward to this game. Anybody that likes cats is looking
It's
forward to
like
this game.
it's like a cat in a post-apocalyptic world where it's run by robots. So it's like an interesting premise
Yeah.
already. And then this next point you wrote it in. I was not aware of
Oh
this
yeah.
PSP
It's
thing.
gonna be available for free for PlayStation Plus Extra members or members of a higher tier than that. So that's gonna be the premium, or what's the other one that we talked about? That's
Deluxe, I think.
deluxe, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So that should be available for
I
that.
was not aware of that. That's cool. Yeah.
I saw it, I think, on the PlayStation blog or some website. I'm not really sure, but that's great. I mean, like we were talking before about the free games that the new PlayStation Plus tiers, are they going to get us like good games? Are they going to get us like old games? Or there's obviously no day and day release games.
Look
So
who's using that there.
this is a game. Of course, we don't know how it plays out or anything like that, but there's a lot of interest in it. Like online, like a lot of people seem to like
Definitely.
it. So it's
Yeah.
cool that it's going to be available for free for PlayStation Plus
Uh,
members.
and it's their studio's first game. So like it's like a
Yeah,
nice not advertisement, like a way to start their first game, I would say.
yeah. But like you said something about it's about a cat in a post-apocalyptic world. It just got me thinking right now. Have you seen the latest season, or like actually last season and the latest season of Love, Death, and the Robots on Netflix?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Not even last season?
No.
Have you seen season one? Like have you
I
not seen it?
started. I've started the first
Oh,
or second episode. I'm only on episode 2, I think. I can't remember
of
which
season
one.
one.
Yeah, season
Well,
1.
season
I'm fine.
two is not that good, but there is an episode in it where basically humans wipe themselves out, right? Like there's not a single human on the planet. I think it
Mm.
was robots that wiped them out. So, anyways, you have these three robots, and they're like taking a tour through the city, exposing the stupid things that we used to do and the ways that we used to think, and then how that eventually kind of like led to our demise. And then there's a twist with cats in that city.
Okay.
So it's a post-apocalyptic world. There are robots and there are cats. This game is the same thing. It's a post-apocalyptic world. There are robots that the cat
Ah,
interacts with,
I
right?
see. I see the link. Yeah.
Yeah. So just wanted to make that connection. Overall, it looks like it's a very interesting game, different game. I haven't really seen much about other than it being like an adventure-ish type of thing. There's like no combat, no puzzles, I think. I'm not sure, but yeah.
They didn't really show anything other than you moving through the world and communicating with robots.
It
So
was just
yeah,
that, yeah. So it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I do appreciate the what's different about it. And
and
and it should have been done in VR. Imagine if there's a VR mod of that, of you
as
being
the
a
cat.
cat roaming around the city.
So would you
That's
have
gonna
to
make
like lick
people's
yourself or like hold your arm? How would you do it?
Imagine like if you want to heal yourself, if there's like a healing damage element in the game, you have to like keep doing this. Yeah, like I mean, there are people that already do that anyways that pretend to be cats. So why don't give them a platform?
An outlet. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah.
This
Next
is
up,
the next zombie
that
game
was
that
the
you
next
thought it
one.
was.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Callisto Protocol, a third-person survival horror game that is
Hard.
set in
Yeah.
2320. So it's different than the other games, like in terms of the timeline. But it is like zombie-esque, like the people that you're fighting, the
Yeah.
people they're trying to like survive from. It's set. I don't know about this, Fastfood. I think you put this in a
I
prison
did.
colony on Jupiter's moon Callisto. That's why it's
That's
called
why it's
Callisto
called
Protocol.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a nice information because I deep dive and I went through their website because the first time I saw it, no joke, I got Dead Space vibes. Like
me too.
I
Me
felt
too.
I instantly I was like, this is Dead Space. It's
Like,
I
are
was
they?
looks like it.
Even though they mentioned like the Callisto Protocol early on in the trailer, I didn't know that meant anything in the Dead Space game. But like, I looked at it as like, is this like the first gameplay look, other than what they teased last year? But is this like the first look at Dead Space? It wasn't, but I got those vibes as well.
And funny enough, it was valid because the studio is led by a Dead Space and Call of Duty veteran Glenn Schofield.
Schofield,
And this
I
is
think, yeah.
Schofield, and this is actually their first game coming out of this studio, Striking Distance Studios. That's what they're called. If you want to look them up. So it's interesting. So they have the background, Dead Space, Call of Duty,
Of course. Yeah.
in this
yeah.
like third-person horror game. Like it's a what do you call it? How do you say it? It's like a necessary thing because like Dead Space left a void since it's finished.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
It was a really really cool series. I loved it. I played that. That I played.
Now, remind me, is Dead Space coming out again remastered, or are they
Yes.
continuing the franchise?
No,
They
remastered. They're
Remastered, okay.
building it from the ground up. Remastered.
Oh yes,
Not
yeah,
like-
building it from the ground up. Yeah, that was the big thing about it.
Yeah, but like we have no idea when. But like Callisto Protocol is coming out December 2nd. Like
Yeah,
we have a date for that. And this is coming on PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC. So everywhere.
that's well, not the Switch, but yeah.
You can ignore the Switch from time to time. It's okay.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. They kind of dug themselves a hole there. The next one, speaking of games that were made by a developer of a previous game, and it looks the same and has the same vibe.
You called it, by the way. Yeah.
The Holodrome. When the trailer first started playing, I'm like, is this Ollie World? I mean, it looked like it. It looks a lot like it in terms of the style and the aesthetic. But the gameplay was different because it was, I think, third person or something. It wasn't like the side-scrolling gameplay or camera angle of Ollie World. But it's not. It's a different game. Holodrome is a third-person skating shooter.
Yeah, pretty unique. Like you
Yeah,
don't get more unique.
You
than
don't
that.
get more unique than that. So you're skating in a rink, and different rinks, it seems.
Yeah,
And you're blowing people's heads off.
pretty much.
So why not?
Why not?
Those two make sense.
Yeah, they are the same developers, so they wanted to branch off from skating to shooting people on skates.
Yeah, they're adding more to it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
And
it looks interesting. It's definitely a different kind of game. What was that game? It was on PC. Like it gained a lot of popularity on Twitch. I want to say maybe early this year, late last year. It was a very, very fast-paced shooting game, like arena game. So it's like, I think the EV3 or something like that. Was it a Ubisoft game?
I have no idea what you're talking about. But okay.
And then they canceled. I know Ubisoft had a game kind of like that, and which they canceled shortly after. That might have been it, or it might have been an indie game that it might have been an indie game. I'm not sure, but this seems to be exciting a little bit, I guess, because of the
need to
different
know more.
gameplay mechanics. Yeah, I wonder if you get points for like doing moves like with the old Tony Hawk games. And
Yeah,
not Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, and
Jet Set. Yeah,
imagine
that's
if you
that's
like,
initially what I got. The vibes, Jet Set Radio.
imagine performing certain moves and like actions, whatever, act as some sort of multiplier or buff to your weapons or like to your attacks.
I think
That'd
that's the
be-
case. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah,
And this
well,
is
we'll have
actually
to wait
coming
and
out.
see.
Well, not that long. You gotta wait until August 16th. It's not that
Yeah,
far away.
yeah, really close
Uh,
actually. Yeah, and
Also
it's coming out
PC
PS4, PS4, PS5, and Steam on
and
August
Steam.
16th.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye out on that. Uh, the next game is also a weird hybrid of genres, and
I love this.
oh
This caught
yeah,
me by surprise completely when I
yeah,
was watching. What?
Eternites.
Yeah.
It's also the first game from the Studio Psy,
Yeah.
and it's a hack and slash action dating simulator game type of thing.
Yeah. Try saying that 5 times.
I'm not. Yeah. Um, I forgot what the game reminded me of when I saw I think Persona. Like in terms of aesthetic, I think it reminded me of Persona a little bit,
Okay.
or maybe the fact that it was like life simulator and action and hack and slash and whatnot. I'm not really so sure, but it's not that. It's called Eternites. They showed five playable characters. Each one seemed to have a different fighting style or different abilities, and they fight these monsters in the city. It has slightly anime-esque graphics, but it also does have anime cutscenes, anime-styled
Yeah.
cutscenes.
Full anime
So
cutscenes, yeah.
yeah, which I think is Persona as well had something like that. I don't remember the last time I saw a Persona game. It was on Twitch last year. Haroon from Streamers Out of Content was playing Persona 5.
Oh, hey, Haroon.
Yeah.
Shout out to Haroon.
Shout out to Haroon. I heard he's in Saudi now, actually.
Oh, hey.
So yeah, he might like this game. I don't know, but it is weird. It's like if you think about it, it's actually an anime, because even in action animes, you have like the romantic interest and whatnot, and like that sort of like drama and yeah. It's coming
So
out
they're
to
just bringing
PS4,
it to life.
PS5. Yeah, they're bringing it to life. Exactly, they're making it more interactive. If they did that in VR, that's gonna interest a lot of people. The dating simulation side of the game.
I'm sure there's enough of that on VR already. But
Oh,
anyway.
I'm sure. Yeah. So yeah, it's coming out on PS4, PS5, and Steam early next year, 2023. Oh,
Now, Capcom has been on fire, and like
and they
especially with
have been.
this, yeah, like
Yeah,
you said,
yeah.
they had two announcements or two Resident Evil games. Well, they came out with the next one, a Street Fighter 6 game, like a new
Yes.
mainline Street Fighter, which is
It was
always
announced
huge.
before, but I think this is the first look at the gameplay.
It was,
It
yeah.
looks different. Like I like it threw me off a little bit. I
Yeah, it's
obviously
not
know
cell
the Street Fighter
shaded or
games.
anything. It was, I don't know what you decide to
Very
call it.
nice graphics. But
Yeah.
what threw me off is that I think they showed off two characters at first that I might not have recognized, and then they showed off Ryo and Chun
The
Li.
beard, that was cool.
Yeah, when I saw them, I'm like, are they trying to copy like Ryo and Chun Li because they look the same? And but like, I mean, the characters look the same, but then the style was different. And what threw me off was in the beginning they showed off an open world element.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a new game, but the character designers were being lazy or something like that, and they got people that looked like Chun-Li and Ryo. But then they said Chun-Li and Ryo, and they're doing like Hadoukens and the lightning
Yeah.
kick thing, strike, whatever it was called.
They
And
look
then I
completely
realized this
different.
is
You're right.
yeah. And then I realized this is Street Fighter 6, but it's open world and fighting,
Yeah, it's strange.
which I don't know how the hardcore fans feel about this. Because I know
mean-
Street Fighter fans, like the hardcore fans, are very, very like, enthusiastic, or like they're very sort of committed to like certain things. So I don't know how they feel about this,
guess.
but to me as an outsider, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's a new mode anyway. The World Tour mode, which is generally what you play. I know World Tour from like the previous Street Fighters, where you just play against.
Yeah,
Fighters
it's a single
back to
player
back.
campaign
That's it.
thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now they just made it, it's free roaming, you can move around, and I think maybe I'm just speculating here. So you know how in Breath of the Wild, it was completely non-linear compared to other Zelda games. Like you can go anywhere you want. You don't have to go do like this this area first, get an ability or get an item that allows you to unlock the next area. Like it wasn't like that. You can just like roam around and do whatever you want. Maybe it's the same thing here where you don't have to go, because in the previous Street Fighter games you have to go through the same sort of like sequence of enemies they need to fight to progress, and then you finish that single player campaign. But maybe it's not like that here. You can just kind of like go to anybody you want to fight,
And fight.
and then you fight them, and then like just thinking out loud.
I don't see
There's
why
another
not, but
mode as well,
Yeah.
Battle Hub.
Battle Hub. Now, this was just announced. It's also on the blog post. It's online matches, or it's like their new way of online matches with new ways of engagement and communications that just hasn't been revealed yet. So we have to wait and see.
So they're making some serious changes
Oh yeah,
to how the game plays out and like how the game is experienced. That's change is always good, but we'll just have to wait and see if this is well received by the hardcore fan base.
speaking of the hardcore fan bases, you wrote also about the simpler control
Yeah.
system.
Yeah. I know the hardcore fans, I'm assuming they won't like this, but it's not implemented like for everybody. You now have the option to either use the typical 6 button layout or use something similar to what we saw in Super Smash, where there's a button that you hold down and then you just like make one of the directions on the joystick, and that will activate or that will initiate a move like a Hadouken or Shoryuken or whatever. So the issue here, I believe, is that if you're playing online with somebody else and then somebody like uses the traditional 6 button layout and he's fighting against somebody who's using this easy mode, basically that's what it is, it kind of gives them an unfair advantage, the people using this easy mode, because they don't have to like do button combos. They just have to hold down one button and then go up, or like not, probably not up, like go right, left, down, whatever, to
Easier,
and then you
yeah.
can like chain combos together like that. You can just mash this one button and then sorry, you can just hold down this one button and then mash the direction pad,
Yeah.
and then you just can chain combos together. So I kind of see why people might not like this. It's similar to if you're playing a first-person shooter and you've got people on PC or like people with a mouse and keyboard versus people with a controller. Like there's a bigger advantage using a mouse and keyboard than it is with controllers. And fans don't like that, or people that play the games don't like to be put up against people that have that sort of like control advantage. So maybe there could
Yeah.
be some sort of filter that you can do where
Yeah,
I only
walled
want to play
garden,
against. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's it. There's also, if you want to see all the characters, somebody actually leaked them, and Capcom acknowledged this leak was true, and they had like a nice tweet saying something along the lines that, yeah, everybody in Metro City saw things they weren't supposed to see, but like so and so, they weren't like angry or bitter about it. It was just like, what's done is
Yeah.
done. Let's just enjoy the game. So yeah, you guys can like look. I didn't actually look through it, but you guys can if you want to. And what else do we have? Like, I think that's it, right? It's coming to PS5, PS4,
That's it.
and Xbox X and S, and Steam on PC, 2023.
Next year. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure there's going to be more reveals until then, but yeah, it's something to look forward to for next year for Street Fighter fans.
Yes, but you're looking forward to this next announcement, aren't you?
I mean, I already finished the game on PC, but like Tunic,
Yeah.
Andrew Schultes, his game, it's actually coming to PS5 and PS4 officially on September 27th, and it was just like a
Yeah.
boom, there you go.
Yeah, nothing new, no like it was just the game is coming. It's going to be available on PS5,
On
PS4.
console. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you've already played the game and you don't feel like playing it again, this might mean nothing to you. But if you've only had a PlayStation and you don't have a
It's
PC or
worth
something
it.
like that, or you don't like
Yes.
gaming on your PC, you can definitely check this out.
100% check it out. Such
yeah,
a good game.
yeah.
Like this game I would recommend everybody to play at least once. It's so good.
It's like old school Zelda.
Yeah, it's like old school Zelda with like the feel of an old school game in a modern
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just it's really good. It's really well done.
It's a one-person developer, right? Indie developer, is it?
it
Or is it
was
like a
a
small
one-
team?
It was a one person developer, then it turned into a small team eventually.
Oh, once they like, yeah.
Fungi, I think, the studio or the developers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I forgot the name, but yeah. So the game's coming out September 27th. Look forward to that. The next game, hey, I don't know how I feel about it. Season A Letter to the Future by
It
Scavenger
was so
Studio.
confusing. I was watching it
Yeah.
and I'm like, what
What
is
is
going
this?
on? What is this? And then you see the camera come out, and then you see like the characters just like the protagonist is just face all the time, just like looking at
Yeah.
the screen with like deep thoughts or like deep. I don't know how to explain it. Like it was
I
very.
know what you mean. Wasn't there a
word?
game that was shown at one of the Nintendo Directs that was similar? So in this
self-reflective, I think,
game,
yeah.
so in this game, you explore this world. You're the core sense of the environment. You meet people of the town or whatever you're there, and you're trying to figure out this strange land that's around you. You're trying to like discover what is this land and what's the story
That's it.
behind it.
Yeah.
And you just have to like keep journaling down all these different things. There was a game like that. Again, it had a camera. You had to record, like take photos of people. Like it was just that. There wasn't like any fighting or any like. It's just exploration and documenting what you see. And didn't have like recording sounds, I believe. And it was also like all like I think not black and white, but very muted graphics. The
Ah,
name escapes me.
yeah, yeah, and it was like there was a frog or something part of it. We saw it in an indie
Maybe.
showcase. Yeah,
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was an indie thing
yeah, yeah,
from on. Yeah, so this is like a much more fleshed out version of it, right? But
definitely.
let's wait
Yeah,
and see. Let's wait and see. Like when the game comes out, if there's more that's announced from the game. But at the
L-
moment, it's not
it's
in my list.
no, no, no. The best thing is that the DualSense controller. If you have a DualSense controller and you play this game, you'll actually feel the terrain under your tires. So, like the main character is always on a bike, so you can feel.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's gonna kill your batteries though. But okay.
Oh, and you can feel the resistance with adaptive triggers when you're pedaling up steep hills. So, yeah,
All right. I mean,
that's a
that's good
selling
tech.
point. Yeah,
That's a
selling
selling point. If you guys are interested in this, it's coming out on the PS5 and PS4 this fall, and soon it's coming out on Steam and Epic.
Yeah, they don't have a release date on that.
Yeah, yeah. And then finally, this is
Finally, we made it.
like I wish I could show you guys the notes. I probably can, but I probably won't. When I was like just starting writing out the notes for this game, and it was Final Fantasy 16, I'm like, Fatty, this is all you. Just take it from here because I don't know anything about this. So, thoughtful, go on, please.
To be fair, I didn't know anything about it until I saw the trailer and like got hyped.
Yeah, but even the trailer, I couldn't like describe what was like. It's not like it was so weird and whatnot. Like I just like didn't know what to write down. So I'm like, thoughtful, you know the history there? You know what's happening? Just tell us about what they announced.
So it started off with the hero of the Final Fantasy 14 community, Nakoi Yoshida. So he had a great message about bringing joy and like through the hard times and everything, and he just wants to share this with everyone. And boy,
Yeah.
did he share! It was a beautiful trailer. Like it's all about political intrigue and fights and everything. But let's step back. His studio, Creative Business Unit 3. They are they famously changed Final Fantasy 14 from version 1.0 to 2.0, and the fact that they're leading like the way to they're developing Final Fantasy 16, that means already that it's going to be a fantastic game.
Let me stop you here. Final Fantasy 14. That's the online game.
The online game.
Oh yeah, I know what change
Yeah.
you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
Where
So
they just like
Yoshida,
reset the world, whatever. Let's just
exactly.
start new. Yeah.
Yoshida, him and his team are famous for like rebranding the game and like making Final Fantasy 14 to what it is today, like a freaking phenomenon. And everyone talks about the story. Like I've played it. Okay, I don't have time to go through it, but everyone consistently says the story is fantastic, especially when Shadowbringers like came out recently. Anyway, back to Final Fantasy 16. So the trailer reveal introduces us to dominants. So dominants, Tim, are people
I'm with
who
you.
are the human vessels that uses the summons in this world. And like Final Fantasy is like famous for summons and everything, as we know. But in Final Fantasy 16, they're called icons. Eikons, icons. And so the story takes place among the four realms of Valisthea. This is the world. Hopefully I butchered it. I'm pretty sure I butchered it.
Yeah, that's what we
Valisthea?
do. That's what we
Yeah,
used to do
that's-
in the old podcast. That's what we're gonna do
We gotta
now.
reintroduce
If you've
everyone to
got-
this.
If you've got a weird name, we're gonna butcher it.
Yeah. So this is the world that they're in, and it's all, like I mentioned earlier, political powers and governments have built their nations around something called mother crystals, which are these massive monolithic structures of crystals that provide magic or power to people. So that's what
Yeah.
grants the use of magic. Like this is how their world is built.
Yeah.
And then like from there it swaps into the fights, and man, the fights, I don't know how to explain. You've seen it.
Yeah.
They're so good, and it's done by just one character fighting against like so many people or just one
Multiple,
other person.
yeah.
Yeah. So the main protagonist, his name is Clive Rosefield, and it shows him fighting using different weapons, very similar to Final Fantasy 15, like Noctis. If anyone played that game, they'll get the same vibes of him, like swapping into weapons in and out. And the main thing is that there's a lot of combos in the trailer. So it's like combos with melee and then magic. And one tidbit that I found out, or like me personally, that I found out while researching the game or deep diving into the game, that the combat director on the game, Ryota Suzuki, he was a designer from Capcom. Speaking of Capcom, so many Capcom references.
Yeah, they somehow won their way in.
Yeah. He worked on Dragon's Dogma, Devil May Cry 5, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And
That's where the combo experience comes in handy, right?
Yeah. From I guess, yeah, from both Devil May Cry and Marvel.
Yeah.
And then like they show you the summon fights or the icons fighting each other, like, and you see these like huge kaiju battles, like
I was thinking kaijus, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you see Garuda, Garuda the wind, and versus I think Phoenix or something, and they're just clashing with each other. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. But what really pointed out to me, which if you haven't noticed it, go watch the trailer again, is that there's like the Street Fighter style or Marvel versus
I missed
Capcom
that
style,
actually. Yeah.
bars on top, so you can like you see their health bars like Street Fighter styles, and like they're just battling each other out. I don't know what the mechanics are. I know you asked me about it, but like we don't know. We just see them fighting each other like epically.
We'll have to wait to, like, I'm sure it's gonna have its own like presentation, its own event. Like this is Final Fantasy 16, so there's gonna be more information about this later for sure.
Yeah, later. Unfortunately, later, not sooner. But the icon fights were like the highlight, and like I think the story is focused, or it not. I think they say the story is focused around these summons, and the summons that they showed in the trailer, by the way, at the end. That epic opera style singing at the end, they were like just going through the names of the icon or the summons. It's like I'll just name them: Titan, Garuda, Rama, Shiva, Odin, Bahamut, and Phoenix and Ifrit. So those are the confirmed ones, or that they showed in the trailer. I'm sure there's more. I'm sure. But like I mentioned a bit earlier, like the summons are like the focus of the story and the war, and like it's heavily political, very dark, the story compared to previous Final Fantasies. But yeah, I'm excited. I don't know how you felt about it when you watched it, but
well, I having no background in Final Fantasy at all, I can tell this was going to be great. I just didn't know what were the touch points that I should be excited about, or that a Final Fantasy fan would be excited about or not. The fighting looked really great. Obviously the graphics, everything looked good, but like I had no point of reference to it. But yeah, like I thought of you instantly, because we also, like you mentioned this in the last episode, like we were talking about, like, what do you want to hear from the state of play? You're like, anything Final Fantasy 16, that's all I want, whatever, and like it happened. So
I got it. It was
you got it.
Beautiful finale, man. Oh man, I watched that trailer like 5 times. I loved it. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, it was great. And speaking of finales, actually before that, it's coming out summer 2023. So
this is what
year.
I was.
PS5.
It's
Sorry, my bad. Yeah,
it's fine.
You'd rather wait and have a great game come out, right, with no issues and like fully fleshed out, than have something trickled for you a little bit, right? So
speaking of fully finished, they mentioned in a blog post that the game.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's playable from beginning to end. Yeah.
Exactly, playable from beginning to end. So now they're just bug fixing or like polishing up, whatever it is. That's what they're doing right now.
A year, I'm not sure, like with game development, how long this sort of stuff takes, but in my mind, a year of just like polishing and tweaking and whatnot means that they have more than enough time to do it, and we shouldn't be experiencing any issues when the game comes out. No, so that's it. That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Yeah, Yoshida knows what he's doing. That's all I know. He knows what he's doing. So it's in good hands. Final Fantasy 16.
It is. Sure. It is. So yeah, that's it. That is our coverage of the state of play. Just want to, like, very quickly, in like maybe a couple of minutes, talk about another announcement that came out, which is Sonic Frontiers.
Oh, really? We're gonna
Yeah.
do that?
Just really quickly, really
Yeah, go
quickly.
for
We're
it.
already like over whatever time we want to spend on this, but so Sonic Frontiers, there's new gameplay footage that they worked with IGN to reveal. It's an open world Sonic game.
Yeah.
Nothing else to say about that at all. That's it. I
Other
just want
than
to
Breath of the
say,
Wild was trending when this came
oh
out.
yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, yeah, Breath of the Wild, of course. Everything open world and like, even though this wasn't cartoonish, but everything open world and it's set like in this sort of like on islands or like mountains or grass fields or whatever, like Breath of the Wild, Zelda Breath of the Wild, that like
Yeah.
they're trying to copy that aesthetic, and there have been a lot of games that have done that. You still get to collect rings and coins, and you smash into things. You can do the dashes, you can grind on rails, you can
Looks
do all
good.
that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It looks good. There were like some glitches in the video. I think it was like an alpha demo type of thing that was being shown.
Good.
It looked like there were also puzzle elements as well. I didn't see any combat with other characters. I didn't see anything of
Yeah.
that sort. Maybe
Not yet.
it was in another video or it's coming out later. But I just want to acknowledge we saw it. Let's wait for more. Sonic is like the movie came out. You have this game coming out. So yeah, for Sonic fans, I think there's stuff for Sonic fans to look forward to.
Yeah. Fun
And
stuff.
that's about it. For food. Any last words?
Close out. Nothing. No. I'm looking forward to like Final Fantasy 16 mainly, but yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
You guys can find me on Twitter at FUDFood and on Instagram. What's my Instagram? Also at FUDFood.
No,
But
you
the
changed
O-
it to
Yeah, but the O is 0, so lead speak. That's it.
FUD00D.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
FUDFood for some reason is super popular somehow on Instagram. Don't ask me why. Just look it up. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm on Twitter at Team Mundur. I'm on Instagram at Team Mundur as well. That's TMONTHER. But also, guys, let us know in the comments. What was your favorite announcement?
Oh yeah. Please do.
What would you like? What are you looking forward to play? Also, follow the video, follow the channel, like the video if you liked it, and
Oh no,
follow us
yeah,
on.
we have to do that.
We have
We're
to
on
do this
YouTube.
sort of stuff.
Yeah, we
yeah,
have
we're on
to-
YouTube now.
Are we? Is it like contractually obligated? Do we have to say, "Oh, you have to like and subscribe, guys. Do it."
Yeah,
Is
if
that
you're
a
a
thing?
content creator on YouTube, you kind of have to say that. Yeah, you sign your soul to YouTube. But no, seriously, we're just starting out. If you want to see more of this, we'll keep doing it. But if you want to see more of this, subscribe to the channel. We don't have 100 subscribers yet, so we don't have like a domain or like a link that is just for us. That is easy to remember. But anyways, just like search for. If you're listening to this and you want to see us and you want to see our next videos, search for the Bad Gamer, Good Gamer podcast. You'll find us on YouTube. Like us on social media, interact with us on social media, leave us your comments and tweets and all that sort of stuff at Bad Good Pod on both Instagram and on Twitter. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.